Hello and welcome to another episode of my life experiences. Have you subscribed to this channel yet? If not, please press the subscribe button. Some 2 weeks ago, I shared with you some tips on how to thrive in life. So today, I would like to zero in on tip number 5, which was growing a thick skin. What does it mean and what does it entail? So I'm going to elaborate this using one of my life experiences. This time around, I'm still at the boarding secondary school. So it happened one Monday afternoon that I was walking from the girls' hostels going to the classrooms for an afternoon class, that my best friend came running towards me and she was laughing so hard. And she said, "Wezi, you know what? I've just heard a certain story. And when I tell you this, you are going to laugh." I said, "What? What is it? Spill the tea. What is it? Share already. I'm so anxious. I want to know." Then she said, "This story is about you, it's concerning you, and you are going to laugh." Then I said, "What is it? Tell me. I'm so curious." Then she said, "Okay, people are spreading false rumors that on Saturday evening they saw you on a dark corner with a geography teacher." Then I said, "What?" She said, "Yes, they are saying that they saw you at a dark corner with a geography teacher." And she was still laughing this time. Actually, she thought that when I hear it, I would just laugh it off with her. But I took it seriously. Actually, the reason why she was laughing is that she knows where I was on Saturday evening, because we were best friends, so we were together at a Christian gathering called SCOM. So she knew that the whole time I was at SCOM from start to finish, and at the end we went together with a group of friends to the hostels to sleep. So she thought I would just laugh it off. But I took it seriously. I said, "No, this is a serious matter. This is something, it's malicious and it can tarnish my image. It can tarnish my reputation. What if my parents hear about this? Please tell me your source." But she still refused. When she saw that I was angry, she didn't want to tell me the source. So I decided to go to the deputy head teacher, and I went there. I said, "Sir, I'm here to report that people are spreading rumors at this school that on Saturday evening they saw me on a dark corner with a geography teacher." Then he said, "Okay, that is indeed malicious story and it can damage your reputation. So tell me, who is your source? Who told you this story?" I said, "My best friend so and so." So he said, "Go back to the classroom and call this girl to come here." So I went, I called my best friend. She went to the deputy head teacher's office. Then the deputy head teacher asked her that, "Who is your source? Are you the one who told Wezi?" Said, "Yes." "Who is your source?" Then she said, "So and so." It was a certain boy. And then he said, "Okay, go call him to come here." So she went back to class and called that boy. And that boy was questioned a similar question. He said, "Who told you this story?" He said, "So and so." So it was a chain of people. Almost 3/4 of my classroom were involved in the spreading of those false rumors against me, about me. So when the last person was called, the last boy, he was asked, "Who told you this story?" Then he said, "Okay, on Saturday evening I went to the classroom. Then I just found somebody had written on the board that I saw Wezi on the dark corner with the geography teacher." Then the deputy head teacher said, "Okay, can somebody corroborate your story? Did anyone else see what was written on the board?" He said, "No, I was alone. I wasn't with anyone. So I just decided to rub it off." Then the deputy teacher reprimanded that guy. He said, "This kind of behavior cannot be condoned at this school. This is a bullying behavior. We cannot condone it." So he was given a punishment. But even though that boy was punished, this kind of allegations, it still affected me. When I went to class for that lesson, I couldn't focus, I couldn't concentrate. Until I met two ladies teachers, they came to me and said, Wezi, forget this issue. Forget it. People who made up these rumors are just jealous of you, maybe because of your performance. So, focus on your school. Don't think about this anymore. Just focus on your school. Focus on your school and move on. And I have to tell you, this is the best advice that anybody has ever given me. I decided that time to just move on and focus on my education. And I said to myself that I'm going to work extra hard than I've ever worked before. So maybe I'm talking to somebody. Maybe a similar situation has ever occurred to you. Some people maybe have bullied you using their words, maybe even through cyberbullying. You cannot control what other people do. You cannot restrict their speech. You cannot control their opinions. The best person for you to control is yourself. You can regulate you. You can regulate how you react to that. So, I just want to tell somebody this day that move on. Forget that somebody has created that story about you. Just move on. Focus on your purpose. Focus on your purpose. Focus on achieving the goals that you have set for yourself. Don't mind all the jealousies that people are creating, because you cannot control them. If you were an A student, work hard to become an A-star student. If you were a B student, work extra hard to become an A student. That's the only way that you can punish those people who made those allegations. Because for them, their intentions was to break you, was to make you feel bad. So, I just want to tell you that nobody has got a power over you unless you give them that power. Nobody can make you feel less or less valuable. Nobody can do that unless you accept it. So if somebody is trying to do that, just know that God sees you differently. You don't need anybody else validation or invalidation. No. God has already given you his validation. You are a loved child of God. You were bought for a price. God has loved you so, to the extent that he gave his life on the cross for you. You were bought for a price. Actually, the book of Zechariah, it says that you are the apple of God's eye. God is so protective of you. He sees you differently. He loves you so much. Maybe I'm talking to someone who is even contemplating suicide, having suicidal thoughts because of cyberbullying, or even because of people talking bad about you. Remove those. I just want to encourage you to remove those thoughts far from you. Don't give those people power over you. Forget it and move on with your life. Focus on your purpose. Focus on your achievements. God loves you so much. You are loved. You were loved from the very beginning of creation. So just know that God sees you differently. You are an important person before God. Child of God, focus on your purpose. Focus on achieving the goals that you've set for yourself. This is how I want to encourage somebody. You have all control over your life. Nobody can control you. Don't give people unnecessary power. If somebody creates anything against you, just forget it and move on. For me, I've met this kind of situations so many times. But because of that advice from those two lady teachers that Wezi move on and focus on your purpose, I made a decision to move on. I made a decision to grow a thick skin. So, child of God, grow a thick skin and move on, because you were bought for a price. God loves you so much. You are valuable in His eyes. Thank you so much, child of God. I hope this has helped somebody today. Somebody who had bad thoughts about themselves just because of false reports from other people. I hope this has encouraged somebody today. Thank you so much for lending me an ear. If you have not subscribed yet to this channel, please press the subscribe button. Thank you guys. Stay blessed.